Hello guys and welcome back to Planet 40k. In this video we've got a few things going on here. First of all, I've got a 1000 point list for you, but it's also a 1000 point list that I took to a YouTuber's tournament this past weekend. So Idic Beer, Necrons and more, that's Nick Beer. He hosts a tournament every year in Portsmouth, the Dominion War. I'm going to show you some footage of what's gone on in that event. There's a total of 16 YouTubers that have participated. And yeah, it's 1000 points per person. It is blind doubles. And yeah, we don't know what we're going to be paired with. So it's kind of tricky in that sense. All we knew was the mission and the maps and all that kind of stuff. But first of all, I'll go through my list and then we'll get on to the actual event itself. So my list, I'm going to go through this quite quick, not like the standard list build videos I do where I go through it in quite a lot of detail. I'm just going to go through this really briefly. My list consists of 2 Hexmark Destroyers, 2 Doomsday Arcs, 2 individual Locust Destroyers, and a Tesseract Vault. That's 1000 points Hypercrypt Legion. And so the plans, the pre-plans, without knowing my partner, without knowing who I'm going up against, it's to basically deal with the secondaries. I've got Hexmark Destroyers and 2 individual Locust Destroyers that I'm going to be using Cosmic Precision on every battle round, throw them up the board. Hopefully I can also throw up a Doomsday Arc and get them in the corner potentially and shield them from being charged. I'm talking about the Hexmarks there and the Locust Destroyers. The Locust Destroyers are more early game throwaways. They're only 30 points. If they get targeted, they get targeted. The Hexmark Destroyer I'll be using, or the Hexmark Destroyers, I'll be using more late game, turn 3, 4 and 5. Lone Op will come into effect a lot more because there's going to be less units on the board. That's going to be within 12 inches. And hopefully they'll stick around and not die, so they won't be a complete throwaway. And then of course the Doomsday Arcs being behind there as well. That's going to be great. And ideally I want to be using fixed objectives, secondaries, established Locust, and behind enemy lines. So that will be, if you get 2 units back there, that's 8 points in total. If I get 1 unit back there, that's going to be 7 points in total. So not bad either way. And the Tesseract Vault, it depends on how the game goes. It'll be sitting on the home objective, but moving into a terrain piece. We've already got the terrain map type established, so we know which one we're doing. If I can, I'll find it and put it on the screen for you. And I'm going to be going straight into that terrain with towering, so I can shoot over it. Maybe I think I'm actually big enough to be able to stretch into the no man's land objective in the center as well. Pretty sure I am. So I'll be covering 2 objectives, shooting over the actual terrain feature. If I do get chance, I'll use Cosmic Precision on the Vault and throw it into the no man's land, covering 2 objectives that way, just a bit further afield. But we'll have to see how it goes, and it all depends on who I'm with and who I'm going up against. Now let's talk about the people that are actually participating. There are 15 other YouTubers. We have got Idic Beer, of course. He's going to be coming, Idic Beer, Necrons and more. That's Nick. He'll be playing Necrons, of course. We've got CM War Games, Richard, who will be playing Orcs. That's his partner in crime. If you've seen their battle reports, then you'll know exactly who that is. Demon Prince Gaming, of course, my partner in crime. Demon Prince Powie, he's bringing his demons. We've got the Hobby Corner. That's Kevin. He's bringing Space Marines. Warzone Morlock 40k, that's Bill, he's playing Space Marines. Shed Gaming, that's Rory playing Tyranids. The Golden Throne, David playing Marines. Ministry of Dice, there's 2 guys coming there, Jack and Richie. They are playing Necrons Jack's playing Necrons and Richie's playing Sisters of Bell. Modelling for Advantage, we've got James and Kaiser, there's 2 of them there. One of them's Custodes, one of them's Death Guard. What we got, Dreadwar Gaming, Anthony playing Orcs. Stevo 6+, or 6+ Stevo playing Orcs. Warhammer Podcast, there's 2 of those guys coming, Dan and Jack. They are normally Necron players, but one is playing Drukhari, and the other one is playing Imperial Knights. Cool. And the last one, of course, is myself playing Necrons. So that is the participants. I'll quickly go over the actual mission. We've got Take and Hold. standard there, which is having up to 3 objectives, 5 points each. Prepared positions, which is to do with battle line, didn't come up that often for my games personally, and hammer and anvil. So yeah, as I said, 1k each. It's blind doubles. You're keeping your partner for 2 games. Who do I want to be paired with? Or who did I want to be paired with? I wanted to go with an orc player. Because I didn't have that many models, I wanted a bit more volume of models. And I saw with a few of the people there, they had quite a lot. Richard from CM Wargames had a lot of models. I wouldn't mind being paired with that. Steve06, Anthony with his, he had some orcs as well. So yeah, any of the orc players I think I would have preferred, just to get the volume in. In terms of factions I didn't want to be paired with, it was probably Imperial Knights, because there's not many models. I know Demon Prince Powie's not got many models either. I think he took 3 big boys and some Nurglings, but I think I'd prefer to be with him because he, first of all, we know each other's game inside out, and second of all, he can just jump onto whatever's trying to hurt me. Whatever's trying to hurt the vault, he can go and take it out, and then it's a done deal. So yeah, he's more my kryptonite as well, in fact. So I didn't want to go against him. But anyway, that's who I would like and who I wouldn't like. In terms of factions, not in terms of people, everyone's cool. But yeah, let's go into the actual draw itself now. We'll show you some footage from the draw.
Smile! Yeah. We need you in a bikini though. A bit more.
No, yeah. Should have seen him last night. Nobody needs to see me in a bikini. Man.
Right, and the first thing to do is, of course, do the teams.
Oh, the teams.
So I have all of our names in here, random.
Bum 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 bum.
So, Bill, you're closest.
Oh!
First one on table 1, which is this table here.
Top table. Table 1.
Team A is.
Warhammer 40k Jack C Knights.
Oh, the Knights. Table 1.
Very nice.
Oh, who wants Knights? Who wants to be with Knights? Me.
Okay, Jack, you can choose your partner there.
Hey.
I hope so. Thanks.
How you doing?
No.
What? Warhammer 40k call.
Oh!
Nice.
That's a meme list.
It is, isn't it? I'm okay with that, you know.
Knights and...
Knights and the Vault. And the Vault.
Tesseract Vault.
Towering.
I do not want to fight. So they will be on table 1 and they will be playing.
Oh, God.
Please not you, Aaron. Please not.
Please not me.
Team
Dun,
B.
dun,
Just don't
dun.
pick Demon Prince.
Grid.
Hey!
Okay.
Oh fuck.
Walks with who?
Well, I've got 2. I think I've got 2.
Right, back them.
Jesus, tight.
Oh!
You need to, I think. Actually, can I have that one back? Oh, that's not bad. Modelling for advantage. Custodes.
Jackson Custodians.
So, we got Imperial Knights, not the faction I wanted to be teaming with. Yeah, 2 towering models, 1 Imperial Knight, 1 Bolt, of course. In a way, there was an advantage because of that map thing that we spoke about that earlier, about the map layout. Maybe we could take advantage of that. But yeah, game 1 we were set against the last year's champion, James, with his Custodies, and they're a pain in the arse, by the way. They are very difficult to get rid of. And his new partner, Anthony, with his Orcs. We went into this game, and I sort of went against my pre-plans. I did discuss it with Jack. I thought, should we go for it? Should we go for established locus and behind enemy lines? We were against Orcs. There's a lot of Orc units. A lot of little, I think they're called Gretchen, all the little Gretchen, all the little gobbly things. I thought they're going to screen us off quite well, even with Cosmic Precision. So we opted to go tactical. I mean, to be honest, it wasn't the worst decision. I mean, I'll show you the scores in a bit after I've discussed the game a little bit more. It was a pretty hard game. I mean, I managed to hyperphase my Vault. I think it was turn 2. I hyperphased the Vault into the no man's land. It was the centre of attention. Everything, it just attracted everything. It attracted everything. The Custodians came out. The Orcs came out. And yeah, it did go. It did explode as well. I did roll that 6 for the explosion, and it took out a lot of stuff. It's D6 plus 3 on the mortal wounds with the explosion. A battle wagon went. I think about 3 Custodians went. one of our Warglaive Knights went. It took out a lot of stuff. There was a few more bits and bobs around as well. Everything that was in that proximity just got annihilated. Yeah, not long later, the Imperial Knight went, and that also exploded. So it was one of those games where everything just went bang. Turn 3, bottom of turn 4, I was on the verge of throwing in the hat. We sort of discussed it. Shall we give up? Shall we just quit? But we said, no, you know what? For the other team, they may need the points in terms, because of the way the tournament's run. It's done on victories and then victory points as well. So we thought we can't remove their points. However, things went a bit weird. There was about 10, maybe even 5 minutes left to go. We were behind. We didn't have much left. We somehow managed to swing the game. I don't know how. We swung the game and we won by, I think it was by 7 or 8 points. We won by Hexmark Destroyers. I'm telling you, Hexmark Destroyers are god tier. We threw them onto objectives, done what we need to do. And yeah, we stole the game. We literally stole the game. I felt so bad. I was going up to both the guys and saying, you know what, I feel awful for that. It was a literal robbery. However, I mean, throughout most of the game, the Custodies were just making all the saves. James was just rolling 5-ups for fun. I couldn't remove anything. But yeah, good game. We got a victory. I'll show you some footage now just to give you a bit of an insight of how it went. I didn't take too much footage because I was really into the actual game. But yeah, here's some footage from that game.
It is game number 1. I am paired with Jack, and he's playing Imperial Knights. So we've got 3 of these dudes, Warglaives, Imperial Knight, my big bolt. We're just starting the deployment at this stage. We're coming up against Custodies, who was the winner of last year's event. It's James. And we've also got Dread, which has got the Orc mob. And we're in the deployment stage of game 1. We are fully deployed. We've got the Doomsday Ark on the left flank with the Warglaive. With that line of sight there. Another Warglaive in the front, right next to the Tesseract bolts. A couple of little secondary objective models here. Same here, we've got one of those assassins as well. Doomsday Ark on the right flank with the big Imperial Knight and another Warglaive. We were going to play fixed, but going up against Orcs and Custodies, we didn't think there was going to be much in the backfield, so we've gone tactical, not quite to plan, and they've actually left the backfield open anyway, but that's because we've gone tactical. So it didn't really matter. Regrets. But yeah, they are having first turn, and they're playing quite aggressive. Thoughts?
We're going to smash them. All them vehicles, they're going to be gone by turn 2.
This is actually Jack, my partner, by the way. I haven't actually introduced you to the video. Playing Imperial Knights today. Happy with me as a partner?
Mate, it's going to be a good combo.
Good.
I think we've got a lot of shooting, we have a lot of sustain and a lot of OC.
And
I think we'll do good.
and we're towering. Everything is like towering. So yeah, we're beasts.
Scary. Yeah, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
I've never faced anything big. Never.
Really?
I'm usually the big one. It's the battle wagon. Oh, I'm so big. Yeah, you won't beat that. Damn.
It's going to be interesting. And that's James. The winner of last year's Dominion War.
Oh, cagey. Look at that.
That makes me feel something.
This is table 2. We've got Demon Prince Powie is teaming up with Rory from Shit Gaming. Tyranids. There he is, Shit Gaming Rory.
Yes.
Powie's been at the gym.
Yeah, working these twigs, man.
He's had a bit of Fanta Light and he's anybody's now. And we're going up against the Orc mob of Steve06. And we got my ex-partner. Hey, he's back. Kevin. I miss him, man. Stay calm. Stay calm. Good partner to have.
He's always late though.
He is.
Less late this time.
Less late. It's an improvement. This is interesting, this game, you know? Right, I'm going to move over. Table 3, we have got Nick and Kaiser are paired up. We've got Death Guard and Necrons with his Transcendent Catan. Going up against Richard and his Orcs. And We've got the Drakari as well. Ooh.
Yeah, just.
Still deploying. That's table 3. We're going to move over to table 4, where we've got this beast. We've got the big Tesseract heavy construct with the Silent King, which is Jack. And he's paired up with his own buddy, Richie, who is playing Sister of the Battle. They're going up against Bill and the Space Marines. Hello!
Hello.
You got your partner?
Yes, I drew the guy I grew up with.
So that all this way, and you're teaming up with him.
That's what happens when you slip Nick 20 quid.
But are you happy though? Is this what you wanted?
I've never played Necrons with sisters before, so it's going to be interesting.
This is the Marine team, yeah, the big boy team.
That's it. Like 00 for the moment.
Oh yeah, that didn't even cross my mind.
And come and have a look at this.
I'm coming, Bill.
Now we're playing 2 Badab War chapters. And you'll notice that the symbol for these guys is the same as the Sons of Medusa, which I think is fate.
Oh, it is fake.
It's a small
Interesting.
galaxy.
But how do you feel about coming up against that thing?
It's nothing. We'll absolutely smash it.
6 Eradicates in Deep Strike.
Yeah, we're not concerned with this.
He's got brains. This
I
one.
don't know what it does. It's massive.
Oh, it hurts. It hurts. Trust me. From a Necron player, I'm telling you now, and I'm warning you now.
It's like a proctologist's thumb. We'll find out.
Cool. That's table 4. It is turn 2 for Orcs.
It is the Orcs' turn 2, and Dread is going to war!
This is the back of turn 2. The Necron's Tesseract bolt has been destroyed. It blew up everything around it. It did explode. We killed our own little baby knights. We are struggling. The Doomsday Arcs aren't doing much either, but we're fighting back. We're in turn 3. They've had their turn first. We are getting decimated now. The Doomsday Arc has gone. The Tesseract bolt has gone. The Custodians are literally saving absolutely everything with their invuns. I've rolled pretty poor anyway. We've just lost another Warglaive, and this one's probably about to go as well. We've only really got the Imperial Knight and the Doomsday Arc, which is also in combat with these 2 Custodians here. I think at this point we're even on points, but we're not going to score many from here on outwards. So yeah.
How'd you get on then, buddy?
Robbery. We absolutely robbed the game. We were losing from sort of turn 3 onwards.
Yeah.
The Vault went quite early. They were ahead. We had about 3 models left by the end of turn 5.
Yeah.
I thought they had more points than they did.
Yeah.
And yeah, turn 5, I've deep struck the hex marks in, and he had an assassin that also did the same thing. Jumped onto 3 objectives, done secure no man's land, and another, can't remember the other one. Robbed the game. I don't remember the exact points, but we robbed it by about 6 points or something. But yeah, the other guy was pretty much packing up because he thought they'd won, and they were and we turned it around in the last 5 minutes of the whole game. So yeah, chuffed for that. Got a win, and on to game number 2.
So who are you paired with?
I am paired with Jack, who plays Imperial Knights. Probably not the most ideal faction to be with in terms of faction. Partner is amazing, but as far as factions go, I've got a towering model. He's got a towering model. Both of them exploded, by the way, which is epic. Yeah, when the Vault went, it took out one of his little knights. It took out a battle wagon. Took out some Custodians as well. But I would rather have been paired with some Orcs or something a bit more meat.
Yeah.
But we're making it work.
We got a win.
And we got a win. So yeah, happy days.
Anything you're going to change tactically for the next game? Or you
I've not actually managed to speak to him yet. We're just finishing lunch. I'm still in shock that we stole that win. The first thing I did was walk out going, and I went to James and I went, I'm so sorry. Because we play Custodians, James.
Dread, is it Dread?
Dread, yes. I was thinking Steve-O, that's his friend. Yeah, so we played Dread, Orcs. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to throw the Vault as quick this time because I felt a bit like I was out the game for a lot of it. Really relying on the Imperial Knight to do something. Thankfully he did. He kept everything at bay and we were nicking points with hex marks. So,
doing what hex marks do.
That's why they're the best in the Codex.
And that's why they probably won you the game as well.
Exactly that.
Nice one.
Cool.
We'll have some lunch and come back for game 2.
Lovely.
Right, so that was game 1 all done and dusted. We went into game 2, and the way the tournament was laid out, winners play winners. So we had to play a team that had just won their game. Now we got drawn against CM Wargames, Richard with his loads of Orcs, and he was paired with Dan, who had his Drukhari, and Dan is actually my partner's YouTube partner, so they know each other very well. Richard, of course, knows Necrons very well because he plays Nick all the time. In fact, he's just beaten Nick in the previous game. I don't play against Drukhari that often, and nor Orcs really, so I was a little bit more reliant on my partner Jack, who does know, of course, Dan and a bit of Orcs, I suppose. But yeah, the game went on. They, like I said, they had a lot of units. I might put a little image now of what Richard had. There was just double, if not triple, the amount of units that everybody had. He just had so much stuff, and it was all shooty stuff. It was looters, flash gits, and yeah, they are nasty, by the way, absolutely nasty. I now feel Nick's pain when he has to play Richard day in, day out. Basically like a reversal of the first game. We lost all the Imperial Knights and all the small knights very early on. In fact, one of the Warglaves died from Overwatch, from scratch, from the flash kits. I don't know how. There were just a lot of dice that Richard pulled out. I think it was like 40 dice. He threw them on, killed a mini knight in Overwatch in our turn. The loot has decimated an Imperial Knight, and it was kind of down to the Vault. We did it in reverse. The Vault was a little bit more laid back. It stayed in the terrain rather than hyper-phasing into the No Man's Land. I could still reach one of the No Man's Land's objectives, so I was still on 2. But there was just so much stuff. Turns 1 and turns 2, I'd say we were dominating. Anything that got within the No Man's Land, we just took it off the board. But once we started to lose our mini knights, the game massively swung. There was a big concern that we weren't going to win this game. Again, that shooting was disgusting. My bolt went down to about 4 wounds remaining. I think it was 4 wounds remaining. The Vault stayed strong, but yet again, the Hexmark Destroyers done what they do. And I think it might have been a Locust Destroyer at this point, but we just held points. And this time we won the game by 1 single point. Just 1 point was in it. And now, I've got to be fair though, there was a time restraint on all the games. It was done in the pre sort of mission pack that Nick gave out. We only had about 14 minutes left to play out turn 5, so therefore turn 5 didn't happen. And it was agreed before the game, or before the tournament in fact, we would stop wherever we were at. We're not going to fast play it like we did in previous years because it goes a bit squiffy when you do that. So turn 4 we agreed was going to be the end of the game. I think if it went to turn 5, depending on invulnerable saves, it probably was more favourable to the other team, the Drukhari and the Orcs. They had a lot more on the board. I had a very damaged Vault and a couple of small things. I might have had a Doomsday Arc left, I can't remember. But yeah, I think it would have swung in their favour. But as it was, we won the game by a single point. Again, I'll put the scores at the end of this footage. Limited footage though, because this one was a lot more intense of a game.
We're going into game 2. What are we going to do? What are we going to do here?
Let's see him again. We're going to win.
We're going to win. We're going to jam ourselves another win.
We're going to sneak it in, absolutely. We've got a lot of bodies to get through.
Yeah, he's only deployed half of his stuff and he's still got another half to go yet.
Sure.
But we've gone for sort of the same sort of deployment as last time, give or take. If it's not broke, don't fix it, right? So, yeah.
Take out their units.
Although, we are changing something. We have gone for established locus and behind enemy lines. Against the army with the most the most units. We've gone ballsy, but there's a plan behind the madness. So yeah, we'll have to see. Yeah, stay tuned. Right, we've had our turn 1. We went first, unfortunately, so therefore we couldn't do established locust or behind enemy lines with the hypercrypt. But we've killed. Let's go to the kill list. We killed quite a lot of stuff here. All the looters have gone over there. Battle wagon that had the shock attack gun dude, and whatever those guys are, I don't actually know. But yeah, as we went first, we had to go forward a little bit. There's a lot of models in the Orc team, which is a little bit of a concern. But yeah, Tesseract Bolt's got to do its work in this game. In the previous game, it didn't do enough. It needs to do something this game, especially against all this infantry. We're on the second part of turn 2. This is the dead pile now. Update on the dead pile. The shot dude is dead. A couple of killer cans are now dead. and all those dudes are dead. I still don't know what they're called. And yes, anything that comes within the no man's land, we kind of just shoot them off the table. Hence why there's not much here, apart from us. And we've thrown in a locust destroyer to score behind enemy lines and establish locusts, which is right down there. We can do that virtually every turn because, yeah, we've got quite a few characters and single model units. Doomsday Archers are sitting tight at the minute. We don't want to get too close. Oh, they did something with their flash kits. It was Overwatch, and they had like a 60 attacks or 40 attacks or something. And they killed one of these Warglaives in Overwatch. Madness. Dirty, dirty orcs. Dirty orcs.
Now, unfortunately, I did have some more footage. I actually interviewed my partner Jack after the second game, and there was a bit more interaction with him and Dan. Unfortunately, the audio got all squiffy, so I can't actually put it in the video. But yeah, we won the game. Like I said, 1 point in it. So that brought us to the end of the event. So now we're just pretty much going into the rankings. I'm going to skip forward to the top 3. You can check out Nick's video or any of the other guys' videos. They probably have the entire footage. Nick definitely will. So yeah, if you want to see the entire rankings, then go to Nick's video and check that out. But I'll show you the top 3. Here we go.
In third place with 1 win and 161 points, and very close, is Jack and Richie. So first of all, trophies.
Raise it above your head.
Moving to second place with 2 wins and 140 points, it is Jack and Carl. I'm going to shake hands before I give out all the prizes.
Do it for the name.
He's learning.
Here we go, get the trophies.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yay!
Hooray!
You also get the objective markers and deployment zones.
Thank you.
So you have to fight which one you have.
After yourself, please.
We've got a Tomb World base set and a Tau Enclave set. You also get the Morphic 3D mystery box.
Thank you. Hey, well done, boys.
Cheers, buddy. Lovely.
With 2 wins and 164 points, the Dominion War 2024 champions are Rory and Aaron.
Yeah, channel's eating good for months.
Ooh, above the head.
But overall, we got second place.
We got first place.
So yeah, so we got second place. Happy with that. What did I come last year? 4th?
Third or fourth, yeah.
No, Jack come third. I come 4th last
Fourth.
year. So
An improvement.
got onto the podium,
Yeah.
silver medal, loads of gear. So shout out to Nick because he gave us a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of his sponsors. I'll put that in the description down below. But yeah, come back this year. I'm going to take your crown.
Yeah.
So, second place in the Dominion War 2024, I would definitely take that. Shout out to Nick as well as Richard for putting on the event, of course. And if you've not subscribed to all the other guys, do so. Yeah, there's 15 other guys there that they also need your support on all their channels. And also check out in the description all the sponsors that Nick had. Yeah, I'll put them down below.